when you coach men as well, do you have this part of your coaching or mentoring? Do you have advice that you give to men, or do men ever talk to you about challenges that they are facing in the office, of more of this talk about women empowerment, gender equality? What do I need to be doing more to be more sensitive to women? Are there specific advice that you give them?
Yes. I think James has been very fortunate in working in spaces where that may not have been an issue, but I do believe that's still, unfortunately, the exception rather than the norm. But you're right. There are a lot of men who are coming forward to have this conversation, and I'll tell you who these men are. The majority of them are fathers who have daughters and husbands who have working wives, who are very, very empathetic and have some level of awareness of the fact that sometimes if you're not walking that path, you may not obviously see some of the barriers that do exist. So one of the things, I mean, there are many things that I suggest if men are wanting to be allies to women. A few of them, for example, being don't make assumptions about what it is that the women want or what it is that the women are capable of. Right? I have known sometimes of assumptions being made around talent mobility, for example, of whether a woman is ready and willing and able to move or not. The assumption is, she's a mom, she's got little kids, she may not want to move, but fathers may not always get asked that question, right? So don't make assumptions about the aspiration and the ambitions and the kind of roles that women may want to take up. That's one. Secondly, I think for a dialogue to happen between men and women, both sides have to be able to acknowledge, like how James was saying when he said, I may be biased. I think that's a great position to start with when you state your point saying, I may be biased, but guess what? I'm open to learning. And I think that kind of creates that dialogue from the other side saying, I can see why you might, make these assumptions, but here's why it's not true. Or feel safe to open up, because a lot of times what will happen is women may not bring up something. I can't tell you the number of women who actually hide their pregnancy from office because they feel that they may not be seen as candidates who will be promoted, or they might not be looked at as being serious about their career if they came out and they shared that they were pregnant, right? Now, that is an issue that is very, very real. When I was doing my PhD and I was expecting, I felt afraid about that. And I had a male supervisor and I went to him and I said, I have something to share. And I was fumbling and I didn't have the words. I said, he's going to tell me your PhD is over, go home. How could you? You're a traitor to the cause. But he heard me and he said, wow, he came from across his desk. He gave me a big hug and he said, now is your chance to be superwoman. Let's get you set up for this great journey. And I was so inspired because, my own biases about how a man might respond to me were also shattered. So I think both sides need to do a better job of acknowledging that we come with certain assumptions to the table that may not always be tenable.